Good evening, fans of Shiloh Christian football, and welcome to the state of Florida. I'm Eric Vaughn, and I'm joined in the booth by my longtime broadcast partner, Cliff Anderson. Tonight, the weather could get a little dicey and play a role in the outcome, as tonight's game calls for a 40% chance of rain, tailing off to overcast and 81 degrees by the second half. It's Florida, folks. You got to expect some rain, right? As the state prepares for Hurricane Dorian tonight, your hometown Saints are prepared for their first true road game of the season. Tonight, it's a non-conference match that pits the Shiloh Saints against the Terriers of Moorhaven, Florida. Moorhaven is coached by first-year head coach Brent Burnside, and they come into tonight's game 0-1, having dropped their non-conference home opener to the Atlantic Sharks of Port Orange, Florida, 41-6. We are just moments away here from kickoff as they are lined up and ready to send the ball down to Shiloh, who will receive it first. I'm joined by Cliff Anderson here, the 9th year for Cliff and my 10th year calling Shiloh football as the voice of the Shiloh Saints. And there is the kickoff. Shiloh takes it right at the 27-yard line, advancing the ball to the 33 where he's pushed out of bounds. And that was Luke Hutchinson.
Yeah, a little pooch kick there by Moorhaven, Eric, to start the game. Good to be here with you all the way down in Orlando, Florida. This is the longest road trip we've ever had.
Absolutely it is, and probably going to turn out to be one of the funnest, enjoying some great sights and sounds here in Orlando, Florida. As Shiloh sets up for their first snap of the ball game, Eli Reese in the shotgun formation sends Tollett in motion. The give is to Tollett around the right side. Tollett finds some room. Tollett breaks across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
And nice start for Shiloh there on the first play, opening up the 2019 season. Eric, the 31st season here at Shiloh Christian School. Overall record 272, 101, and 3, a 72% winning percentage.
Reese now hands off to his fullback, number 17, Cam Weedman. And Cam Weedman will get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And there'll be no gain as the ball is now on the 36-yard line. And it's third down for the Saints. Third down and 6 for Shiloh as Reese is in the shotgun formation. He's got two split out wide to the right, one to the left. Reese looking to throw. Reese throwing the bomb, but it's overthrown to Truett Tollett, the intended receiver. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think there's holding on Truett Tollett as he was trying to break away from the line. I think one of the Terrier defensive men held him there just beyond the line of scrimmage, so it should be a 10-yard penalty and first down for Shiloh.
You know, we talked about how the Terriers lost 41-6 last week, and looks like they're waving the flag off. That'll be fourth down and 6 for the Saints. But Shiloh has looked strong all off-season and into the kind of scrimmage portion of their season. They sure handled the Bulldogs. They put down Springdale 42-6. With quarterback Eli Reese, who is player of the game, throwing for 4 TDs and 183 yards as the Saints prepare to punt here. And it's a nice end-over-end punt. And it's fumbled. And who's got it? It looks like the Terriers will come up with it at their own 24-yard line after a muff punt there by the Terriers. And they do. And he slides back to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 at the 23 for the Terriers.
Yeah, Caleb Anderson with the punt. Had a pretty good punt there. And as you said, a muffed punt or muffed return there. Shiloh had an opportunity to maybe recover the ball. Now I'm looking here at the turf, Eric. It did rain for pretty hard for about an hour right before the game. So the field is a little slick. I saw in warm-ups guys dropping the ball a little bit, sliding around the field. So that may be a factor as we go throughout the game tonight.
Well, here come the Terriers and quarterback Leonard Sampson for Moorhaven. There's the snap, and he's going to carry it himself around the right side. He'll slip and fall at the 29-yard line after a nice gain of 6. back to that game there that we had with the Bulldogs, where Reese threw for 183 yards. The Saints in that scrimmage racked up 404 total yards in that, and the Saints have a very powerful offense with many returning seniors. As Leonard Sampson takes the ball, hands to his running back across the 35 down to the 39-yard line, and that is Nate Crawford. He's a junior, 5'11", 195 pounds, and he's got himself a Terrier first down.
Yeah, Terriers will have a 1-2 punch, Eric, from the running back position. Number 39 will call his name and number out quite often, and then right there, number 20, 39 is Lorenzo Sampson, and number 20, Nate Crawford, both strong runners up and down the field.
So here comes Sampson and the Terriers. Sampson again will give to Crawford, and he is swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. No gain. He's going to lose 2 or 3 yards on that carry.
Good defensive pursuit by the Saint defense there for almost a 3-yard loss there. 9:25 remaining here in the first quarter of the 2019 football season for the Shiloh Saints.
It has officially kicked off. This is my favorite time of the year, Shiloh football. And as I mentioned before, 10th year starting to broadcast here, Shiloh football. My broadcast partner Cliff's been with me 9 of those 10 years. So, folks, we hope you're not getting tired of us as Sampson looks to throw. He's throwing the bomb, and a reception made by his wide receiver, Javon Jones. And they're going to look to see if it was incomplete. Oh, it is. No, complete at the 28-yard line of the Saints. So a nice throw there by Sampson to Javon Jones.
Yeah, Javon Jones, a senior, 6'2", 180. He is fast, and he is the favorite target of the quarterback. As you just saw there, we'll probably call Javon's name out a lot tonight. And the Saint defense, they've got to know where he is and cannot let him get behind them.
Sampson sets up in the shotgun for the Terriers. They're set up shop at the 28-yard line. Sampson takes it, fakes it to Crawford, and he's caught behind the line of scrimmage down at the 33. Nice play there by Braden Tutt.
Yeah, good defensive pursuit there by number 10, Braden Tutt, sneaking up behind the quarterback, Sampson, tackling him from behind. Good job.
Drops him for a loss at the 32-yard line as the Terriers break huddle. And it's 2nd down and 13. Sampson now gives to Crawford. Crawford across the 30. Crawford churning his legs. Crawford down to the 24-yard line. Nice run there by number 20, Nate Crawford.
Yeah, again, 2 running backs. Nate Crawford, junior, 5'11", 195, and you saw he runs north and south. He keeps those legs moving. Defense has to hit him low, wrap the legs up, let the defense come help you stop him.
You know, we've talked about that in previous seasons, Cliff, on the defensive side of the ball is Shiloh tackling up high and not grabbing down there around the waist, the legs to stop a big runner like Nate Crawford. Hopefully this season we'll have some more defensive plays where we're wrapping them up instead of trying to tackle high. Now Sampson sets up at the 24-yard line for the Terriers. He's looking to throw again. He's got a short pass out into the flat right around the 26-yard line, and he is stopped at the 26. Nice pursuit by the Shiloh defense.
Yeah, great job there to not give up on the play. Push the receiver back to the middle of the field. You got so much help in the middle. Don't let them get to the outside and use their speed. It'll bring up 4th and 8 from the Saint 26-yard line. So decision here for the Moorhaven Terriers. I think it's a little bit out of their field goal kicking ability, so I expect them to go for it, and they need to pick up 8.5 yards to keep the ball.
4th down and 8. Now the Terriers break huddle. Here comes Sampson and the Terriers to the line. Sampson in a shotgun formation. He's got Nate Crawford there. As well, he's got Leonard Sampson, the quarterback, as he drops back and wants to throw. He's got Crawford out in the flat. Crawford is stopped. And that's a 4th down turnover on downs by the Terriers.
I think Braden Tutt was the one that initially tripped up the runner coming out of the backfield. Good defensive stop. It'll be a turnover on downs. Shiloh will take over at their own 22-yard line. So good defensive stop after giving up the big pass play for the Saint defense.
Nice job by the Saint defense. Now it's the Saint offense's turn once again, as unfortunately they went nowhere in their first set of downs. Quarterback Eli Reese now in the shotgun formation as the Terriers get set on defense. Reese waits on the snap, sends Tollett in motion. Reese with the ball, rolling to his left, wanting to throw. Overthrows his man, intended for number 17. That was Hyatt Pierce. Nope. That is Cam Weedman. Looking at the wrong roster there, folks. Number 17, Cam Weedman, just overthrows him. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Saints. Reese now waits on the snap. Again, sends Tollett in motion. Reese has got the snap. This time gives to Weedman. Weedman right up the middle, and there he goes. He's broken it open across the 50, the 40, the 30. Can he score? Ladies and gentlemen, an 88-yard score for number 17, Cam Weedman. What a run right off the right side.
Yeah, 78, Eric.
78.
22. 78-yard touchdown on the Terrier sidelines, and just finding the hole and then outrunning the Terrier defense. How about the speed by Cam Weedman?
Well, I got so excited that Cam made me forget 3rd grade math, and I could not add there as he broke for a 78-yard score. Congratulations, Cam. Great vision, seeing the hole, breaking that right side for 78 yards and the score. Reese now sets up for the 2-point conversion. Weedman in motion. There's the snap, looking to throw, and it's blocked. So there is no extra point try on that one, as the pass is knocked down in the end zone. And with 6:08 remaining in the first quarter, the Saints take a 6-0 lead on the legs of Cam Weedman on his 78-yard scoring run.
Yeah, good job on the right side of the line, just creating a hole, and then Cam just turning on the speed on a fast turf down here in Orlando, Florida. And we have a beautiful sunset, Eric. I don't know if the camera can pick this up or if they're showing around this beautiful facility here, but like I said, we had a pretty heavy thunderstorm blow through here about an hour before the game, 2 hours before the game maybe, and it's turned out to be a beautiful night to kick off the 2019 Shiloh Saint football season.
Folks, if you want to catch me on Twitter, EricV66, I'll send you out a picture of that beautiful sunset here in Orlando, Florida, as the Saints have just now taken a 6-0 lead at 6:08 in the game. They prepare to kick off now to the Terriers for the Terriers' second possession of the ball game. And the ball is taken at the 21-yard line by the Terriers. That's Isaac Harper. Harper with a nice return. Harper will get out across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Number 12, Harper, the nice return.
Yeah, Harper caught it at about the 21, broke to his left, right up the middle of the field, Eric, for about a 20-yard return. So Terriers will have good field position to start their second drive of the night. You know, I mentioned earlier, this is the 31st season of Shiloh Christian football. Jeff Conaway, the head coach, entering his 6th season, 46-17, a 73% winning percentage as the head coach here for the Saints. And just kind of continuing the tradition of good football here at Shiloh. As all time, they have a 72% winning percentage. You know, we'll talk about this as we go on through the season, but boy, you look at last year and the season that Shiloh had, Eric, 12-2, state semifinalists. But listen to these names, and our fans will remember all these names who, I'm not going to call them out, everybody that we lost from last year, but just some key playmakers that Shiloh had last year really helped them have a great season. Jaden Henry moved to Van Buren, over 1,000 yards, all-purpose yards. Jarrett Russ, over 1,200 all-purpose yards. Blake Thompson, almost 1,000 yards receiving. Micah Button, just a defensive guru. And then the big tuna, Logan Callison, really helping out on the line. I mean, those are some big-time shoes that Shiloh's got to find some guys this season to fill, because those guys just really did so much for the team. and help them to have the success they had last season.
Well, Cam Whedon's doing a nice job starting them off with that 78-yard run. Of course, Truett Tollett is one of those guys on the receiving end that we hope can replace some of those yardage that we lost over last year's team. And the defense looking sharp here on the second possession as they shut down the Terriers in the backfield for a loss.
You know, again, coming back this season, quarterback Eli Reese, last year he's passed for over 2,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Very, very smart quarterback leading this offense. Truett Tollett, 77 receptions for 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. He's back. Ben Walton, only 40 carries and 220 total yards, but I expect Ben to have a big season, as well as Luke Hutchinson, Bo Kaysen really stepping it up this season.
Sampson to throw, has his receiver in the flat. And a missed tackle there, and there goes number 6, Isaac Hernandez, the wide receiver. He'll step out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play as Hernandez gets down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, blocking the back, Eric, right here that allowed the receiver to get away from a sure tackle there. So that helps Shiloh out. That will back the Terriers up, as that will be their first penalty of the season.
So that's a penalty that really hurts the Terriers, as that's walking them back now all the way back to the 25-yard line. They need the 50 for a first down, so you're going to have second down and 25.
You know, it'll be interesting, Eric, as we continue to go through the night here. It's very, very humid. Not real warm, but a very, very high humidity. So we'll see the toll that may take and which team's the better conditioned team here tonight.
Well, hopefully the rain will hold off. There's a 40% chance, but it doesn't look like it now. Sampson throws and got his man at the 35, now down to the 39-yard line. And a nice catch and throw from Sampson to wide receiver Herschel Lewis. So Lewis will pick up a lot of those penalty yardage, as now they're back to 3rd down and 10. He'll pick up 15 yards on the pass reception from Sampson to Hernandez.
Yeah, we talked about number 4, Javen Jones, being the favorite receiver for the quarterback. Herschel Lewis is a close second. Not as big as Javon Jones, but still a great target and has some wheels.
Yeah, Lewis on that reception to the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Sampson now looking to throw again. He's under pressure, but he unloads it. Oh, and a big hit, as Herschel Lewis is taken out at the 45-yard line of the Saints. No flag on the play. It'll be 4th down and 10 for the Terriers.
No, nothing illegal with that hit. That's just a receiver coming across the middle who just caught a pass. And the Saint defense just let him know, hey, we'll let you catch one. You're not going to catch another one. So it brings up punting situation, it looks like, for Moorhaven. Good job by the defense to put the pressure on the Terriers. Force a punt here.
Terriers are in punt formation as Shiloh waits to receive the football, standing at the 25-yard line. Good snap, and there's the punt. End over end, short punt. Lands, Tollett says back away from it. It'll roll down to the 32, now the 31-yard line. Saints will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 31-yard line. So a short punt, but a good roll for the Terriers. $29-yard punt there by the Terriers. Saints take over at their 32-yard line. Now they'll back it up to the 31. That's what I thought. And the referees now have placed the ball correctly at 31-yard line. And here go the Saints. Eli Reese in the shotgun formation as the Terriers are set on defense. Wide receivers, 2 split out to the right, 2 split out to the left in stack formation. Now Wiedemann in motion. Reese now rolling to his right, looking to throw, back to his left. He's got his man to the 40. That's Rabin. Logan Rabin down to the Terriers' 45-yard line on a nice pass and catch from Reese to Logan Rabin.
Yeah, 24-yard pitch and catch there, set up nicely with blockers on the left side. Logan Rabin with the big first down.
There's the snap. Reese rolling to his right again. Throws. Has his man right at the 36, 7-yard line. And that's Bo Kaysen, the tight end.
Second down and 2.
Kaysen listed as a wide receiver, 6'4", 185 pounds, senior. Nice reception there to set us up 2nd and 2. As Reese waits on the snap, he's got it. He's going to give to his running back. And that's Wiedemann again. Wiedemann will get to the first down marker at the 35-yard line, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Saints.
Yeah, Wiedemann just looking for a hole and for something to open up and kept having to bounce it out to the left. Diving forward. Love that Shiloh's running backs do that. They try not to lose yardage on any play, and you'll see them diving forward for that extra yard, and right there it paid off for the 1st down.
Reese now with Wiedemann in the backfield with him. He's got Bo Kaysen in motion. Wiedemann's going to get it off to the left-hand side. And there he goes. Wiedemann down to the 20-yard line. Nice run and another 1st down for the Shiloh Saints and Cam Wiedemann.
Wiedemann runs to the left side.
Yeah, Cam having a career game so far. 4 rushes for 95 yards. Now, one of those rushes for 78, but he's been the workhorse so far in this game.
Reese now has the play, waiting for the snap. He's got it. He's going to give to Wiedemann right up the middle, and there goes Cam again. Cam across the 15 down to the 13-yard line.
Number 17, Wiedemann up the middle.
They're going to say he was down at the 14.
Gain of 5. He's 2nd down and 5.
So 2nd down and 5. As Cam Wiedemann chewing up yardage here. Bo Kaysen in motion again. Wiedemann's going to get it again around the left side. Nope, that's Ben. That is Ben Walton. Ben Walton with the 1st down for the Saints. Switching it up a little bit there in the backfield with Ben Walton around the left side for Shiloh Christian 1st down. Walton now sets up to the right side of quarterback Reese. Again, Kaysen in motion. There's the snap, and this time Reese is going to keep it, throws to the end zone, and it's picked off. Flag on the play, but the Terriers have an interception as the ball was thrown short and picked off. But there is a personal foul penalty on the Terriers, and that's going to give the Saints half the distance to the goal and a 1st and goal.
Yeah, you don't see that a whole lot. Defensive horse collar on an interception, and I don't know if maybe, Eli was under pressure, so he underthrew the ball a little bit. So I wonder if when our receivers were going back for it, if their defender maybe horse collared him to pull him back, and that allowed them to make the interception. I guess that's the call, but it goes Shiloh's way. We'll take it.
1st and goal for the Saints. A ball right at the 8-yard line. Minute 15 here in the 1st quarter. Saints lead 6-0. As Ben Walton is in there at running back to the right side of quarterback Reese. Split out wide to the right, Bo Kaysen. Now Tollett in motion. And there's a stoppage of play and a flag.
Flag on the play. Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Remains 1st down.
So the call going against the Terriers again here, encroachment. As that'll give the Saints a 4 yards on the penalty, and it'll set them up 1st and goal again, this time from the 4-yard line. So here comes the Shiloh offense again. Walton to the right side of Reese. Reese sending Tollett in motion. The give is to Ben Walton. Ben Walton down to the 1-yard line, and is he in?
He's in.
He is. Touchdown, Ben Walton and the Saints. Walton pushing that ball over the goal line for the Saints with 41 seconds left here in the 1st quarter to take a 12-0 lead over the Terriers of Moorhaven.
Yeah, good job blocking there for Ben to allow him just to scamper in. Again, dive forward into the end zone as he was being tackled.
This time Walton comes out. He's replaced by Cam Wiedemann. And the Saints are set up in a 2-point conversion formation. There's a timeout called by the Moorhaven Terriers, so That gives us an opportunity to get back and talk a little bit about this powerful offense that you're seeing. Again, in that scrimmage against the Bulldogs earlier this season, the Saints pulled off a 42-6 drubbing of the Bulldogs. And in that, again, Eli Reese threw for 183 yards. He was the player of the game, and the Saints racked up 404 total yards and had their way with the Bulldogs. Cliff, let me ask you, of course, that was only a scrimmage, but what fireworks can we expect to see from the experienced Saint offense tonight and really for the rest of the evening and rest of the season if they stay healthy?
Well, as I mentioned, I mean, we've got a lot of we lost a lot of players from last year, as I mentioned earlier, but we've got some playmakers coming back. I mean, led by the quarterback, Eli Reese. But I expect Logan Rabin to have a big year. Luke Hutchinson last season only caught, I believe, let's see here, 4 receptions for 25 yards. Bo Kaysen, 5 receptions for 83 yards. Really expect those guys as seniors to step up. And we just called Ben Walton. He's got 2 rushes for 10 yards and a touchdown. At Shiloh, it's just kind of plug and play. It's putting new people into the system, and I believe that's what we'll see this season as Shiloh's lined up to go for 2.
And they are, as Tollett is in motion. And the give is going to be to Cam Wiedemann around the right side. Wiedemann busts in for the 2-point conversion with 41 seconds left. It's the Saints 14 and the Terriers nothing.
Good 2-point conversion.
So good drive down the field there by the Saints. 41 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Shiloh up 14-0 to start the 2019 football season. And things going Shiloh's way early on, really led by their defense. We know the offensive weapons that Shiloh brings to the field, but this defense playing at a high level already with Moorhaven's first 2 possessions, a turnover on downs and forcing a punt. So here's an opportunity for the Saint defense to, again, rise up, show us what they've got, and hopefully get the ball back and put more points on the board.
And the Saints preparing to kick off for the second time tonight to the Terriers. And they do so. The Terriers take it at the 25-yard line. And there they will be stopped at the 27-yard line.
And look what I like right here, Eric. I see 6, 7 guys on the kickoff team making the tackle, and that's what you've got to do. This is what the Saint team, really nobody is like an all-star on this defensive unit or kickoff unit or much less even the offensive unit. It is a team effort. All 11 have to play every play, be a part of every play. Everybody do their job, and that's what the coaches have been working on all summer long through 7-on-7 and then as they got into fall practice. And, really one of the team's mottos for this season is they've kind of got 2. One is journey and hold the rope. And when you hold the rope and you're playing a team, especially a talented athletic team like Moorhaven brings to the field, everybody has to participate, hold the rope, and do what they're called on to do to win the game.
So here comes Leonard Sampson and the Terriers as Sampson's going to keep it himself. He's going to get across the 30 and step out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Nice little run there by Sampson. 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Terriers.
So the Saints doing a good job of containing their quarterback, number 2, Leonard Sampson, Again, 6'4", 185 senior. Not a real accurate passer as we've seen so far tonight. He can hurt you with his legs. Saints doing a good job containing him so far.
And here comes Sampson on the pass. He's got one deep. And he was looking for Leonard Sampson.
Jevin Jones, number 4, is the intended receiver there, and he just gave up on the ball. I mean, good receivers will go and make the catch. They don't wait for the ball to come in. They go get the ball, and I know that's what Coach Conway and Coach DePriest really talk to our receivers about is go get the ball, catch it at its highest point. And Mr. Jones didn't do that there. I think he thought that Keaton Carter on the defensive side was going to, have pass interference, and so he's counting on that. And Keaton just had good position, just letting up. Mr. Jones has to go get the ball.
Here come the Terriers now. as Sampson sets up. Maybe a little confusion on the defense there for Shiloh. Sampson rolls out, throws, got his man at the 35-yard line. He'll advance to the 36. They need the 38-yard line for a first down, so it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Folks, that's the end of the first quarter. The Saints lead the Terriers of Moorhaven 14-0.
So good opening quarter there, Eric, for the Shiloh Saints. Again, all the way down here in Orlando, Florida. We have an approaching hurricane, and thankfully the hurricane has slowed down a little bit. I think it will allow all of our fans and the team to do their trip as planned and get out of here on Monday and get back to Arkansas. But, boy, a day or two ago, it was looking a little critical on, one, if we were even going to come down here, but two, when are we going to get the game in, and then when are we going to get out of town? And there's a JV game in the morning at 9 o'clock. I don't think we'll have any issues getting that game in. I know the younger players want to play. And, again, the team and fans that are here, they'll do their activities on Sunday, Monday, and hopefully we won't have any problems getting home.
Well, you didn't know how telling this was going to be. We are at Celebration High School Stadium, beautiful facility here, and I'm looking down there on the track, and they are the home of the storm. And with Dorian out there in the ocean and churning as it is, looks like it won't hit ground until maybe Monday or Tuesday, and the Saints jump off sides, and that's going to cost them 5.
Flag on the play.
So Floridians, they really know how to prepare for a hurricane. I was out getting some gas in the car that I drove down here in, and the lines were already forming and starting to be very, very long at all the gas stations today. Several gas stations with caution yellow tape all around their pumps, completely out of gas, as Floridians and those here in Orlando preparing for Dorian to hit sometime Monday or Tuesday, and hopefully it will lessen in its strength. Right now looking to be a Category 4 hurricane, which is very, very severe. And Sampson now with the football, 1st down and 10, but he is going to be stopped in the backfield, dropped for a loss.
Yeah, Shiloh bringing the blitz there right up the middle. No blocking among the offensive line there for the Terriers, and Shiloh just able to get in the backfield and get all over Sampson, make the tackle. About a 5-yard loss on 1st down. Saint defense playing at a very, very high level.
2nd down and 16 for the Terriers of Moorhaven. Sampson set up in the shotgun. Has Nate Crawford in the backfield with him. Split out wide receivers, 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Snap is low. Give is to Crawford. Crawford across the 35, stopped at the 37, and driven back by the Shiloh defense.
Yeah, again, 5 guys making the tackle there on the ball carrier. Saints doing a great job of just knowing where the ball is,
3rd down,
not getting fooled,
14.
wrapping up, making the tackle.
3rd down and 14 for the Terriers. As Sampson gets the play from the sideline, comes to the huddle. You'd expect Sampson and the Terriers to be throwing on this down with 14 yards to pick up before they can get a first. Again, Sampson, Crawford in the backfield with him. 2 wide receivers split out to the right, now a man in motion. Sampson takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw, throws it long and deep and got his man. And Shiloh's defense letting the guys from the Terriers slip behind him, as that's a catch and reception all the way down to the 12-yard line. Flag comes in late there. Possibly a late hit on Shiloh. We'll see what the call's going to be.
Yeah,
Number 5 bring along the reception.
Yeah, I was going to say, Eric, there is a late hit there. The ball, or the receiver was on the ground, and Shiloh, I couldn't tell who it was, came over there and just hit him. Now, it wasn't a hard hit, but still the intent was there. And we'll tack on probably half distance of the goal. And so just a breakdown in defensive coverage there for the the Saint defense, letting the receiver get behind them. You cannot do that at any level of football. You've got to stay with the receivers, especially a talented team like Moore-Haven that has athletic players and a quarterback that has a huge arm, can get them the ball. You've got to know where the receivers are and keep them in front.
Well, Javon Jones on a reception that gets them all the way down to the 12, and then they get half the distance on the late hit. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 6 for the Terriers. A timeout is taken. 9:58 remaining here in the first half. The Saints up 14-0 over the Terriers, but the Terriers threatening to score from the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6.
14-0 Shiloh Christian. I'd like to remind you the concession stand is open for refreshments.
You know, Moore-Haven, Eric, is about 2 hours south of here, I believe. And I look here on the Saints are on the home sidelines. And, man, I really think we have more fans than they do. That's just a testimony to our Shiloh Saint fan base and parents and how well they travel. I mean, I just think we could travel the world as they do at times on mission trips. And just the parent involvement, the parent support that our school has is just so good to see. Seeing it again tonight and all weekend here in Florida.
So the Terriers with that timeout now set up on the 6-yard line. And Cliff is right. Looking at the fans tonight, it really looks like Shiloh has traveled just as well, if not better, than the opposing team of the Moore-Haven Terriers, who are now on the 6-yard line. First down and goal to go for the Moore-Haven Terriers as Sampson now hands off.
Look at that defensive pursuit again. The running back just trying to back it up. You never run. If you're running north-south and the touchdown, the goal line's north, you never want to run south.
Yeah,
and the running back ran about 8 yards backwards trying to outrun the Saint defense, and they're just too quick. Saints getting pressure and making the tackle.
Yeah, Crawford had nowhere to go on that one. As it'll be 2nd down and goal, but all the way back to the 15-yard line. Terriers were at the 6, loss of 9 yards on that. So that's a tough one there for the Terriers as the Saints really locked them down.
So it's about 2nd and goal from the 15. Delay of game will be the call. Another penalty on Moore-Haven. That'll back them up 5 more yards. So now it'll be 2nd goal from the 20. And I definitely think this is 4-down territory for the Terriers. 8:55 remaining here until halftime. Shiloh already up 14-0. Terriers need to put it in the end zone and get some points.
Here comes Sampson and the Terriers back at the 20-yard line. It is 2nd and goal from the 20. Sampson under pressure. He's going down at the 35. Big time play. Number 41 on the sack. That's Max Suarez. And what a big time tackle with another 15-yard loss.
Yeah, now a 3rd and goal, Eric, from the 31. So the Terriers going the wrong direction. And again, this Saint defense, can't say it enough, early starting this season, playing at a very, very high level. You know, take away the long busted coverage there on the 70-yard throw just a few minutes ago. But anytime the quarterback stays in the pocket, Shiloh is bringing it up the middle, not getting blocked, and they're able to wrap up the quarterback.
And there goes the Terriers down to the 25-yard line on 3rd and 35.
Crawford on the run for the right side, tackle number 41.
So again, I don't think they have a field goal kicker that's accurate enough or long enough to attempt something here.
From the 24-yard line.
They're not going to punt it, but they've got to put it in the end zone if they want to keep the ball. Shiloh just needs to keep them short of the goal line. It'll be another turnover on downs. So quarterback Leonard Sampson has shown he's got the arm to get it down the field. Shiloh on the outside just has to keep the receivers in front of them.
Sampson now rolls to his left, under pressure, going to run it himself, and he's down at the 20-yard line. So that'll be a turnover on downs. One for the Saints tonight, and for the Terriers as well.
Turnover on downs.
Fans, again, if you want to see what Cliff was mentioning there just a moment ago, the Shiloh fans traveling well as compared to the visiting team, the Moorhaven Terriers. Check out Eric V66 on Twitter, and you'll see a picture of that. As you can see, Shiloh has the best fans ever because together we are Shiloh strong.
So good defensive stand there after giving up a big pass play and the Terriers getting down inside the 10-yard line. Shiloh will take over at their own 20.
Reese has Wiedemann in motion, and the give is to Cam Wiedemann around the right side. Wiedemann across the 30 down to the 33-yard line. Nice little run by Cam. And that'll be a Shiloh Christian first down.
Terry's good for a first down.
On the legs of Wiedemann tonight, with 6:45 left here in the first half, the Saints up 14-0. As Wiedemann again is in motion. This time the give is to Tollett around the left side. Tollett's got room to the 45, across the 50, pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line of the Terriers.
And there's a flag at the 40. There was blocking on the outside. It looked like Bo Kaysen had his defender locked up in a good block, but the officials here in Orlando are going to call a hold on the outside, unfortunately, which will go against Shiloh.
And a tough break there for the Shiloh offense. That'll back them up on the nice run by Truett Tollett.
Yeah, I think the hold was about 7 yards into the run. So we'll see how far it backs them up. Backs them up just right at the 30, so that's about right. But still first down, first and about 15, 14.
First and 14. Kaysen in motion. The give is to Cam Wiedemann around the left side. Wiedemann stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. That'll bring up second down and 14 for the Saints.
Wiedemann on the carry, stop by number 39, Lorenzo Sampson.
One thing Shiloh wants to do, and they want to do this every game, but they really want to come out here against an athletic team like the Terriers. Shiloh wanted to have the tempo. So sometimes they're going to be in a huddle formation and go a little slower, and then other times they're going to speed it up a little bit, maybe call 2 or 3 plays in a row just to change the tempo up on this Terrier defense.
Empty backfield this time. Reese throwing deep for Tollett. And Tollett well defended that time by number 4, Javon Jones, and number 7, Sadarvian Hall. Sadarvian Hall.
So official timeout here. I don't know if they're taking
official timeout,
water break here. Maybe this is a Florida rule early in the season. Again, it is a hot, muggy night here. You know, in Arkansas, when it rains,
that's a great rule.
It cools things off.
Yeah, I was just thinking about where's our water for our water break. It's a fantastic rule. I love it.
But here in Florida, I think when it rains, if it was hot and muggy before the rain, it's hot and muggy after the rain.
Absolutely.
That's just part of being in the southern part of the United States, close to the tropics. Beautiful place down here, just south of the downtown Orlando metro area.
Yeah, the team had a great time today as they were able to go into Universal Studios today and eat at Margaritaville there, which is a nice little restaurant at Universal Studios. Had breakfast there prepared for them, a buffet. They got to do their clap practice right there on Universal Studio Walk, so a great opportunity there for the boys. And then the rest of the day was observing some film, resting, a big pasta dinner tonight before they came out here to load up for some energy as they lead 14-0 here with 5:38 remaining in the first half. Great opportunity for the Shiloh Saints to be down here in Orlando, Florida to play this Moorhaven Terrier team. Kind of one of those once-in-a-lifetime deals. I got to be a part of that back when the Saints played Euless Trinity down in Texas Stadium. That was an awesome opportunity as Reese throws. Going deep again for Tollett, this time out of bounds. as the Saints will wind up fourth down.
Defended by number 4, Jones, and number 12, Harper.
So look, brings up fourth down and 11 here. Looks like they're bringing out Caleb Anderson to punt. I know Coach Conaway and team have been working on a few punt wrinkles, so we'll see if this is an opportunity for maybe Shiloh to gamble a little bit.
And this time a nice punt down to the 34-yard line.
Fair catch.
Caleb Anderson with a fine punt.
For your first down and
allows
10.
the Saint special teams to cover that punt well. As the ball will be taken at the 35-yard line for the Terriers. It'll be first down and 10.
34-yard punt there. Had good hang time. Not allowing the returner for the Terriers to make a move. He fair caught it. So good change of field position there. 5:21 remaining here until half. Shiloh up 14-0. So fourth offensive possession for the Moorhaven Terriers. 2 turnovers and downs, 1 punt. Saint defense have held them in check for the most part. Quarterback Sampson does a fake on the to his running back and keeps it himself up the right side. It'll be a first down as Sampson's able to get 10 yards exactly. So that'll should move the chains. Now they're backing it up just a little bit. So 9-yard run there by quarterback Sampson.
And short on their own 44-yard line.
Terriers have the ball on their own 44-yard line. 2nd and 1. 4:50 remaining here until half.
2nd down and 1. Sampson now in the shotgun formation takes the snap. He's going to give to Crawford. No, it's a keeper. And Sampson's going to get across the 45 to the 46 for the first down for the Terriers. Sampson faked us all out that time on the quarterback keeper.
Sampson on the keeper. Tackled by number 29, Cooper Hutchinson.
Yeah, the Terriers, Eric, have shown that they can move the ball a little bit. They just haven't been able to put it in the end zone yet. Shiloh has, when their back's been against the wall, they have stepped up. The Terriers have hurt themselves with a couple penalties as well. But this is a drive with approaching 4 minutes left here until halftime that Moorhaven wants to put points on the board. They will get the kick to start the second half.
This time Sampson on the quarterback keeper again, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's stopped in the backfield for a loss. That'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, 44, Caden Henley, sophomore, coach of new linebackers coach Ashley Henry on the tackle with the initial hit. Caden, good size, 6'1", 215. We'll call his name a lot this season, just a sophomore.
2nd down and 11 for the Terriers. Clock ticking away, 3:35 and counting here in the first half. Shiloh leads 14-0 over the Terriers of Moorhaven. Sampson breaks the huddle. In the shotgun formation, his wide receiver Herschel Lewis split out wide to the right. Looking Lewis's way, looking to throw, unloads for Lewis, and it's going to be almost intercepted as it falls short. Landon Fulgham wanted that pass. Had it in his hands, but it fell incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Terriers.
Yeah, again, it's wet out here a little bit, Eric, but that is a ball that's just wobbling and waiting for a defense. You've got to go get it, and we're not able to come down with it. That would have been a great turnover. 3 minutes, 9 seconds remaining here until half. That would have been a big-time turnover for Shiloh to have it and maybe try to put some points on the board themselves. But it brings up 3rd and 11 for the Terriers from their 45.
And this time, the man in motion is Kelton Hallback. And the pass caught down to the 45-yard line, close to a Terrier first down. And it's going to be about a half a yard short
completed to number 6, Isaac Hernandez.
as they get the ball, or advance the ball to the Shiloh Christian 45-yard line. And that is not enough for a first down. I don't know why the referee is saying first down.
First down.
And they do place the ball enough for a first down for the Terriers. I didn't think that was. Looked like he stepped out of bounds a little sooner than that, but refs have got a better vantage point than we do. It's first down and 10 for the Terriers.
Yeah, you had one official on the far side marked it at the 45, and then the other official on the Shiloh side had it about the 44, and then the head official comes in and he marks it there. So it's first down for Moorhaven, 2:35 remaining till half.
So here comes Sampson and the Terriers in the shotgun formation, takes the snap. He's going to give to his fullback. And he'll pick up a few yards, give him 3 on the carry. Lorenzo Sampson he's a two-way player. He's a running back on offense, a middle linebacker on defense. He's a senior, 5'10", 220. So he's a bit of a hoss in the backfield there for the Terriers.
And talk about hoss, I mean, you see that the Terriers are running on the right side. That's because they're following the lead block of number 75, Robert Harris, senior, 6'6", 350. They like running behind him for sure.
That is a big boy. And here comes Sampson. Sampson, quarterback, drops back, under pressure, going to throw it. And this time he throws it away. And he avoids the sack by tossing it out of bounds. So I didn't see a receiver in the area. There is finally the flag for intentional grounding.
Yeah, so that'll back the Terriers up, plus it stops the clock at 1:43.
Yeah, because he was under some severe pressure there, and he just was still in the pocket and heaved that ball out of bounds. Strong arm, but you got to be throwing it to a receiver if you want to avoid intentional grounding, which he did not. That's also a loss of down. Stops the clock with 1:43 remaining here in the first half. Saints lead 14-0. Backs the ball up to the Terriers' 45-yard line. They need the 34 of Shiloh for a first down. So it's about 21 yards for a first down. 3rd and 21, let's call it. And here come the Terriers. Sampson, the flag on the play, rolls to his left, throws, got his receiver, and he is knocked forward to the 48-yard line of the Saints. That was Kelton Hallback.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a false start on Moorhaven, Eric. They let the play continue, but I'm pretty sure that the receiver in motion was moving forward before he got set.
You know, Cliff, in our 9 years together, I have learned one thing. Do not doubt Cliff Anderson when he makes a call. He is 100% correct in his 9 years.
No, I've missed some, Eric.
I
missed the first call of the game.
I'm overlooking that.
There's a flag, and I called what it was, and they took the flag away. So,
well, you know, that's not your fault. That's the referee's fault. He made an arbitrary decision to pick up the flag.
Timeout.
So Shiloh will take a timeout here with 1:34 remaining in the first half. 14-0. But the Terriers facing an uphill climb here. 4th down and 15 to go.
You know, one person we really need to thank, Eric, that we don't talk about him a whole lot, but that really, really helped out the football team getting down here to Orlando. And I see him there on the sidelines. It's Mr. Jason Stewart. Now, the team had a practice on Thursday morning before they got on the flight yesterday to fly down here. And they had put all their pads and helmets and luggage, so they didn't have to check that at the airport, put it in a box truck. And Mr. Stewart drove all the way down here by himself, I believe.
That is a long
Delivered
haul.
all the equipment you see on the sidelines, the tent, the monitors, and just everything to make this as much like a home game at Champion Stadium as the Saints could make it all the way down here in Orlando. So, well, we appreciate Jason Stewart doing that and his support of the football team and what he does at Shiloh.
Well, that is true. So shout out to you, Mr. Stewart. Great job. Thank you so much for supporting Shiloh football like you do, for paying the price and getting that done for Shiloh and the boys, making it a great experience here in Orlando, Florida. As the Terriers punt away, this time a decent punt goes to Tollett at the 17-yard line. Tollett's going to take it across the 20, down to the 25, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, blocking the back there, unfortunately.
Hector Seguindino.
That'll back Shiloh up. 1:23 remaining till halftime.
Return by Tollett. There's
Just
a flag on the play.
a penalty you didn't need there on the kickoff. Truitt knew what he was doing. Just hold the block. Keep the block in front of you. Coaches talk to their players all the time about that. And if you can't see the numbers on the front of the jersey, you don't need to block them.
Well, on the heels of Mr. Stewart giving him a shout-out, I want to give a shout-out to Coach Jeff Conaway. Thankful that we have a coach like that gives my broadcast partner, Cliff Anderson, and I the opportunity to do some pretty cool things while we're broadcasting Shiloh football to you, all the fans back home. It's exciting to be in places like Texas Stadium I've been before. It's always an awesome opportunity to be in War Memorial for state title games, and now here in Orlando, Florida, watching these Saints up with 1:23 to go in the first half, 14-0. So, Coach Conaway, thank you from Cliff Anderson and I, giving us opportunity to do some really great things as your broadcasters for your hometown Shiloh Saints. As quarterback Eli Reese brings the team to the line, they're backed up down at their 8-yard line. A lot of motion there on the offensive side as Bo Kaysen switches from the left to the right. Logan Raven from left to right. Reese looking to throw the football, wants Truitt Tollett, and it falls incomplete. It'll be up 2nd down and 10 from the 8.
Reese's pass intended for number 8, Tollett, falls incomplete, be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, another flag right at the line of scrimmage, Eric. I'm not sure if there's a receiver downfield or maybe the official thought someone's moving on Shiloh. I think it's going to back them up. Now picking the flag up, so no penalty. 1:15 remaining here until halftime. Shiloh backed up deep in their side of the field on their own 8-yard line.
2nd down and 10 from the 8-yard line. Quarterback Reese now shotgun formation, waits on the snap. He's got it. Rolls out to his left. Throws the football. Got a man wide open. And that's a 1st down for the Saints, Bo Kaysen, as he was wide open as the tight end.
Reese's fastball is
So a 1st down for the Shiloh Saints, and continuing the shout-outs tonight, I want to say thank you to Tom Dow. Tom, a big-time supporter of the Shiloh football program, has been for a long time, has his son Hunter Mason on the team as Reese rolls out to his left. Got his man, and that is number 5 on the reception, Luke Hutchison. And Hutchison gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. But Tom Dow is the guy that got me down here to Florida, so thank you to Tom and Liz Dow for the opportunity to be here in Florida. Have some fun with your family as well as watch these Shiloh Saints as quarterback Eli Reese across the 35 slides at the 37-yard line for a 1st down for the Shiloh Saints. And you know, Cliff, in this broadcast, we've got fans everywhere. We've had people listen from Georgia. We've had people listen from all the way in other places, Seoul, Korea, as quarterback Eli Reese now keeps the football. He's hit big as he crosses the 40-yard line down to the 42.
Eli Reese on the keeper.
We've had fans listen from other parts of Arkansas and even fans in Nashville, Tennessee, as my very good friend Ed Upton is listening to Shiloh Saint football tonight on ShilohChristianFootball.com, all the way from Nash Vegas, baby. I'm glad you could tune in, Ed. Thanks for listening and watching Shiloh Christian football, some of the best football in the 4A conference in Arkansas. Shiloh now, 34.3 seconds left here in the first half, facing a 2nd down and 8, leading 14-0.
So good timeout there as Eli Reese, not known for his running a whole lot. He doesn't like to do that and put his body in jeopardy if he can help it, but just that's the way the play unfolded. So the last 2 plays, he had to run it a little bit, runs the clock, continues to run even after he's tackled. So Shiloh had to call a timeout, 34 seconds remaining. They want to get down here and at least have a field goal attempt, if nothing else, before the half runs out.
You know, I can't mention Nashville and folks listening to Shiloh Christian Football as Eli Reese sets up here for the snap. He's got it, just 34 seconds remaining, looking to throw the football. And he's going deep for Tollett. He's got Tollett across the 40, the 35, the 30. Tollett on his wheels. And Tollett will get down to the 25-yard line with 22 seconds left. First down and 10 for Shiloh.
34-yard pass and catch there. Big-time play, Eli Reese to Truett Tollett.
And going back to Nashville, we cannot mention Nashville without mentioning former senior pastor Ronnie Floyd. Hope he's listening to Shiloh Christian Football. Of course, he's got a son that also coaches football in Alabama at Hewitt-Trussville as quarterback Reese hits his man Bo Kaysen, but Kaysen knocked out of bounds after about a 2-yard gain. Get to the 23, wanting a timeout, and now a flag on the play as Coach Conaway got in the face of the referee asking for a timeout. Conaway just wanting a timeout as he runs down to the sideline to get in the face of the referee to just get him to notice him.
No flag.
And
they
now,
picked it up.
now he picks up the flag.
But a lot of time ran off the clock there as the official, Bo Kaysen was hit out of bounds. He hit inbounds and forced him out, but they kept the clock running. Coach Conaway had to use, I believe, his last time out. 8 seconds remaining here with the ball at the 23-yard line. As Shiloh is looking to put it in the end zone here. I think you've got time to run 2 plays and take shots at the end zone. We'll see what Coach Conaway draws up.
8.3 seconds here in the first half. Shiloh leading 14-0. A little bit of fun right there as time was running off the clock, and Shiloh head coach Jeff Conaway running all the way down to the sideline to try and get the attention of the referee for a timeout. Referee kind of surprised and shocked, throws the flag. Cooler heads prevailed, though. The flag was picked up, but a lot of time ran off the clock, and the fans, they're letting the referees hear it a little bit about their disappointment that so much time ran off the clock, as now the Saints only have 8.3 seconds, second down and 8 from the 23-yard line. Fans are hungry for another score here before half. 8.3 seconds, you might have time for 2 plays here. Depends on how quickly Eli Reese can get it off. Quarterback Eli Reese takes the snap, looking for the throw. Pumps it once, Tollett, and it's incomplete with 2.3 seconds remaining as he had Tollett wide open. Tollett just couldn't handle the pass from Reese. Falls incomplete. Third down and 8 with 2.3 seconds left. Time for one more play. It's got to be a toss into the end zone.
Well, it's going to move on up. There's a flag there, Eric. The official said hands to the face on the defense.
There's a flag on the
So
play.
that should move the ball closer to the goal line for Shiloh. Again, 2 seconds remaining here. And Coach Conaway will have a decision to make. Definitely within Keaton Carter's kick range here from the right hash. Do you go for the kick and try to put 3 on the board, or do you put it in the end zone?
Well, they're down at the 12-yard line, and you've got an opportunity here certainly to give Keaton Carter a chance, as right now Coach is mulling it over, but he's sending quarterback Eli Reese back in there. So at the 12-yard line, first down and goal with 2 seconds left. They're going for it, fans.
Yeah, I like this call. It's not a good it's too close to the goal post and the angle.
Tollett in motion. The give is to Tollett. Tollett looking to throw the football. He does. Incomplete, folks. Time has run out. That is the first half of action here at Celebration High School in Orlando, Florida, where the Saints will go into the locker room at half with a 14-0 lead over the Terriers of Moorhaven, Florida. Cliff, what are some of the things that you saw here in the first half that got you excited about the future of Shiloh football in the upcoming season?
Well, I think if you're watching online back in Arkansas or wherever you may be, you're seeing just typical Shiloh Christian football. You're seeing a lot of mix-ups with mixing it up on the offensive side with runs and passes and good play calling there by Coach Conaway, Coach DePriest. Again, the defense playing at a great high level. Eli Reese, 9 of 15 for 115 yards so far. Leading rusher is Cam Wiedemann with 6 rushes for 102 yards and a touchdown. So you're just seeing Shiloh football. And again, we said this at the beginning of the game, we may have lost some playmakers from last season, but we're just putting new players in, and they're continuing just to fill that role and just doing a great job from Orlando so far here tonight as Shiloh has a 14-0 lead here at the half.
Well, you lose talent from last season, and like you said, it's just next man up here at Shiloh Christian Football as they take a 14-0 lead here at halftime. And fans all the way back there in Arkansas, we want to say hello to you, man. We're glad you are tuning in here to ShilohChristianFootball.com. That's the first half wrap-up. We got about 16 minutes until we start the second half, where we'll have more Shiloh football action as they lead the Terriers of Moorhaven, Florida, 14-0. Hey, Shiloh fans, we're back here at Celebration High School Stadium, where the Saints have a halftime 14-0 lead over the Terriers of Moorhaven, Florida. It's been an exciting first half here of Shiloh Christian football, as we've seen some offensive explosion and some defensive stops, as we're seeing more of a high-powered Shiloh offense as they pull out a 14-0 lead and look to shut the door here in the second half. I'm Eric Vaughn, voice of the Shiloh Saints, joined here in the broadcast booth by my partner, Cliff Anderson. Cliff, what did you see here in the first half that you want to see more of here in the second half as Shiloh will shut the door here on the Terriers, hopefully?
Well, I mentioned it earlier, Eric. I love what I see out of the defense. The defensive pressure, they really just gave up one big play where they allowed the receiver to get behind the defense, and the quarterback for Moorhaven just connected with his receiver. So, one little mistake there. Shiloh only has 2 penalties, Moorhaven 7, so it's been a pretty cleanly played game. And that's great for the first game of the season for Shiloh. Now, this is the second game that Moorhaven has played. They lost last week against another team here in the state of Florida. But I really like what I see. And then you see offensively, Eli Reese has done a good job of managing offense. Cam Wiedemann has done a great job running the ball. And then Eli has found several receivers. So just more of the same, and expect it in the second half as well.
Keaton Carter with the kickoff. It's a short little kick in the no-man zone, landing at the 30, fumbled a little bit, taken at the 23-yard line, advanced to the 25, across the 30, down to the 31 as he's stacked up there. He'll get forward progress to the 31-yard line. And that's where the Terriers of Moorhaven will start the second half. The first drive of the second half here, already down 14-0 to the Terriers. They'll set up shop, 1st and 10 at the 31. We saw Cam Wiedemann tear up the scoreboard and the yardage here in the first half as Cam Wiedemann scored on a 78-yard scamper and racked up 102 rushing yards in that first half. As the Terriers now set up, Leonard Sampson now in the shotgun formation takes the snap. Going to hand off to his running back. That's number 20, Nate Crawford. Crawford's going to get a couple of yards as he advances to the 34-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Terriers.
We talked earlier at the beginning of the game just about the running backs that Moorhaven brings to the field. Some seniors, a couple juniors, very physical runners, very fast, and Shiloh has held them in check, held their quarterback Sampson in check. And so, again, defense just doing a great job, doing what they need to do to really a team that's maybe a little more athletic than what Shiloh brings to the field.
Sampson throws out into the flat. He's got his man, and he's got enough for a 1st down as he throws to his running back, Nate Crawford, out of the backfield in the flat. Nice little play as he advances the ball to the 42-yard line and a 1st down for the Terriers.
So, again, 14-0. This is a drive that the Terriers coming out of half, getting the kickoff first. They want to put a drive together and get on the scoreboard. They haven't scored yet tonight, haven't really even been close, and when they have been, penalties have just backed them up and killed them.
Sampson out looking to throw. Got his wide receiver. That's Javon Jones. Jones, shifty little runner, and he gets to midfield and across to the 49-yard line. They're going to say progress was stopped right there at midfield. Little short of 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Terriers. I don't really, Cliff, get the feeling that this is a must score for the Terriers or anything, but certainly the Terriers would love to have a score down 14-0. The game is still well within reach for the Terriers and the powerful arm of Leonard Sampson.
Absolutely, and this defense and the Saint team does not need to put it on cruise control. They need to keep the gas pedal down, keep bringing the pressure on defense.
Sampson takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he is going to be short of the 1st down, and as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, it'll be 3rd down and loss of a yard, so call it 3rd down and 3, a long 3 for the Terriers.
So I agree with you. I don't think this is a must-score possession, but the Terriers have to get something going offensively. They've been shooting themselves in the foot by penalties when they have had a little bit of a drive going, but you got to give credit to the Shiloh defense. They've stepped it up when they needed to, and here's another opportunity at 3rd and 3.
So 3rd down and a long 3 for the Terriers. Sampson sets up in a shotgun formation. He's got Nate Crawford in the backfield with him. 2 wide receivers split out to the left. He's got a man in motion. That's the tight end. And he's going to choose to throw, and he's under pressure, and he does throw, and it's incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down and 3 for the Terriers. So a decision time for the head coach, Brent Burnside, as the Terriers face a 4th down and now what looks to be 4 yards.
Yeah, I think almost with the athletes that Moorhaven has here, Eric, and the ball's at midfield or the 48-yard line, you need about 4 yards. I would almost go for it. So one thing Shiloh needs to do here, watch the fake. They may snap it to the up man. Again, you only need 4 yards. Shiloh's got to be protective and be aware of that.
Defense on alert as the Terriers are set up in the punt formation, and they do punt it. Tollett waiting to receive. He's got it right at the 24-yard line, and there goes Tollett. He's got a seam. Tollett across midfield. Tollett pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Call it the 43 on forward progress on the Terriers side of the field. And so that results in a negative net yards on the punt. Nice return there by Truett Tollett.
That punt return by Truett Tollett is brought to you by Rick Lentine and his birthday today. We want to give a big shout out to Rick Lentine, father of Nathan Lentine here on the Saint football team, sophomore center, offensive lineman. Rick, happy birthday. Wish you were here in Florida. Glad you're watching the game with us.
Happy birthday, Rick. This play's for you. And the give is to Cam Wiedemann. Wiedemann down to the 41-yard line. And he'll pick up 2 yards on Rick's birthday. So happy birthday, Rick. Congratulations. And again, glad you're listening to Shiloh Christian Football back at home.
You know, I coached a few years with Rick in the Shiloh Youth League, and really just around Northwest Arkansas, he is a coaching legend.
Legend.
I didn't know if you knew that.
Boy,
he has quite the reputation.
That's some strong words, man. A legend.
Well, that's what he tells me.
Oh, okay.
That's what he tells me.
All right.
So Shiloh has the ball back on their on the Terriers' 41-yard line. Again, up 14-0. 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Shiloh looking to put some more points on the board here and just make it a little more difficult for the Terriers.
2nd down and 8. Hutchison in motion, looking to throw the screen, and he's got Logan Rabin on the screen, and there goes Rabin. Rabin down across the 35 to the 34-yard line. And he'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. That looked like a play that could have developed into more, but good defense there by Moorhaven. 3rd down and a long 2. No, excuse me, a short 2. More like about a yard as Wiedemann gets the carry. Wiedemann on the first down, and Wiedemann across the 30 down to the 27. They're going to say progress stopped at the 28-yard line, but that's enough for a first down for the Shiloh Saints. Wiedemann coming out, Ben Walton coming in. Wide receivers Luke Hutchison and Truett Tollett in there. Bo Kaysen and Hutchison out to the left, Tollett to the right. Shotgun formation for quarterback Reese. Now Bo Kaysen in motion. Reese gives off to Walton. Walton around the left side. Walton will pick up 2 yards across the 25.
Number 2, Walton tripped up.
Senior Ben Walton getting some action tonight, replacing Cam Wiedemann, giving him a rest. Wiedemann, though, really tearing up the yardage tonight. Reese now waits on the snap. 2nd down and 8. The give to Ben Walton, right up the middle, and there goes Ben Walton. Ben Walton down to the 17-yard line. And that's enough for a Shiloh Christian first down.
Yeah, Shiloh offense just doing a great job of mixing up the play calling. Run Wiedemann, and then passing. Then you got Ben Walton. Excuse me, Eric.
Yeah, that's right. 6:15 left here in the third quarter. Saints still 14-0 lead over the Terriers, but they're driving down on the Terriers' 17-yard line. Quarterback Reese waits on the snap. He's got a man in motion. That's Tollett. The give is to Ben Walton. Ben Walton right up the middle. Ben Walton down to the 11-yard line. And a nice little run there of 6 yards by Ben Walton. Second down and 4 for the Saints.
Ben doing a good job there of, as you said, relieving Cam Wiedemann.
Wiedemann back in, Ben Walton out of the sideline. Bo Kaysen and Logan Raven split out to the left. Hutchison and Tollett to the right. Now an empty backfield set. Wiedemann wide to the left. In motion is Wiedemann. The pitch is to Tollett. Tollett got some open room. Tollett pushed out of bounds. It looks to be the 3-yard line.
Tollett on the catch. Tackle by number 4, Javon Jones.
So Javon Jones on the tackle for the Terriers.
Official timeout.
As he pushes Tollett out of bounds. And now a timeout is taken by the official.
Water break.
And it is a mandated water break here in Florida. Love that rule. We're going to take it right along with them. As your broadcast team is going to take a little water break of their own, folks.
That's good. Good on a steamy night like we have here in the Central Florida area of Orlando.
That was fantastic, fans. We hope you could hear that all the way back at Springdale for our delicious water break here in Florida.
You know, usually with our video crew, Eric, with Brian Dunaway, Leo, and that whole team, you know, we have like mute buttons. So we take water breaks all the time, just nobody hears it. And we don't talk about it. We push the button, mute us, take the sip, swallow it, and then take our finger off the button, and it's like nothing ever happened.
Hey, folks, play-by-play water break there by Cliff Anderson. You don't get this kind of color commentary just anywhere, folks. Only from the broadcast team of Shiloh Christian Football can you get a play-by-play of their water break.
Well, we've got a new friend over here named Scott, who is from Alabama, I believe he said, and he goes around and does a lot of soccer events, and he was doing setting up and providing the online telecast as you're watching tonight. And without Scott here, we would not be able to show you and bring you the game. So we're thankful for Scott. And
that's true, but here's the deal. Scott did not need you and me. Scott could have been the broadcaster tonight had we not been down here in Florida. So here comes Shiloh Christian and quarterback Reese. They're on the 3-yard line. Kaysen in motion. Tollett's got the ball now. Tollett's going to score. Touchdown, Shiloh. As Truett Tollett from quarterback Eli Reese. And Tollett on the score. And I said it was Tollett from quarterback Reese, but that was not accurate. Quarterback Reese wasn't in on the play. As he trots out there now for what looks to be a 2-point conversion try. That was Tollett on the Wildcat. And now Hunter Mason's coming in. He's going to hold for Keaton Carter, as Carter will be brought in for the extra point try. With 4:52 remaining here in the third quarter, the Saints take a 20-0 lead here with the extra point pending. Now Reese is going to hold. Quarterback Reese, good snap, good hold. Keaton Carter puts it up and puts it through the uprights.
Carter's kick is good. 4:52 left.
So, folks, with 4 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Shiloh takes a 21-0 lead here over the Terriers of Moorhaven, Florida. Back to our friend Scott. He would have. He could have taken the reins tonight and done the broadcasting. He'd have been just fine. Unfortunately for him, his debut has been shortened because Cliff and I showed up.
Well, I believe Scott could definitely have set the game up because he had it set up before we even got here. And he's pushing the buttons to broadcast it live all over the world for whoever wants to see it. But I'm not sure if Scott would have broadcast the game. I think he would have just sat over here and been happy with just the camera and the stadium announcer and the fans to kind of provide the color commentary. But we do appreciate Scott and all his hard work, and blessings to him as he flies to Colorado and continues to provide opportunities for people all over the world to watch productions like this.
Keaton Carter now sets up for the kickoff as he'll be kicking off to the Terriers now. And it's a onside kick. And the Saints waiting for it to roll 10 yards. And Saints think they've fallen on it and they've got it as the referee comes out to unscramble the pile, and we'll see what the call is.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, did it go 10 yards before Shiloh jumped on it or not? The official threw the flag, but they're going to give it to Moorhaven.
They are. They're going to give it to Moorhaven right at midfield. So I did not see a flag or any kind of call other than they're giving the ball to the Terriers.
Moorhaven Terriers will take it first down and
at midfield. So a little bit of a confusing onside kick there. Generally, if it's illegal touching, they'll throw a flag. It looked like Shiloh fell on it, but by the placement of the ball, it certainly would indicate either illegal touching or Moorhaven fell on it before Shiloh did. So Moorhaven comes up with the ball at the 49-yard line of the Saints. And here comes Leonard Sampson and company for the Terriers as Kelton Hallback goes in motion. A little bit of a high snap, but he's got his man, and that's a wide receiver right at the 45-yard line, and that is Johnny Crawford. Crawford's a sophomore. They've got him listed as a dual player. He's a quarterback and a free safety, but on that play, he was the wide receiver, 5'8", 145 pounds, as he gets across the 45 to the 44-yard line. Hey fans, we're excited to tell you that this year at Shiloh Christian Football, you'll have two ways to watch and hear Shiloh Christian Football on ShilohChristianFootball.com, the webcast as usual. But this year coming up, you'll be able to hear us on Star 101.5 radio right there in Northwest Arkansas as the pass falls short. Incomplete. Pressure was applied to Leonard Sampson. And it'll be third down and 5 for the Terriers. So exciting opportunities here for Shiloh Christian Football to be broadcast not only on the webcast, that fantastic team led by Brian Dunaway, Leo, Chase, all the guys working on the sideline crew and the cameras, but also on Star 101.5 right here in Northwest Arkansas. We'll be carrying Shiloh football on Friday nights. Sampson now takes the snap, wants to throw the football. Got a man deep. It's the speedster, and he comes back for the football, and it's complete. Herschel Lewis, nice reaction to the football as it was well underthrown, and he had to come back for it, but he makes the reception, and it's a big one for the Terriers, all the way down to the Shiloh 19-yard line.
Yeah, that is a big play for the Terriers as, again, the defender for Shiloh, I think it was Drew Dudley, number 19, lost sight of the ball. The receiver knew where it was, came back for it, and able to make the catch. So now Moorhaven inside the Shiloh 20 for their opportunity to score.
Now Nate Crawford, big hole to the right side as he's ridden down after crossing the 15 down to the 14, maybe the 13-yard line.
Crawford on the carry. Tackle by number 2, Ben Walton.
So number 2, Ben Walton on the tackle there for the Saints as Leonard Sampson and company, the Terriers, set up at the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Terriers, as this is the first time that they've really threatened the Saints defense in this second half. Sampson now. Oh, man. Gives to Crawford, and he is smothered. And that's going to bring up 4th down as the Shiloh defense, both times that Moorhaven has threatened in the red zone, they have stood up to the test and shut down this Terrier offense.
3rd down.
Yeah, defense doing a great job. Brings up another decision now. I think it's 3rd down, Eric. You said 4th down.
You're right.
3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, my apologies, fans. It's 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 15-yard line. As Sampson brings the team to the line. Crawford in the backfield with him. Sampson rolling to the left. One to throw. Under pressure. Escapes the pressure, but he's down at the 21-yard line. And now it will be 4th down. And it'll be 4th down and 11 as the Saint defense again rises to the challenge.
Yeah, Saints doing a great job, but again, the Moorhaven Terriers just just destructing themselves on offense. They get close and have a little bit of a drive going, but then either it's a penalty or holding the ball too long in the pocket, and Shiloh knew that. They were down here scouting this Terrier team. A couple of the coaches were last weekend. There's a timeout here for Moorhaven. But the coaches noticed that quarterback Sampson, he would sit in the pocket a little too long, did not get rid of the ball, didn't connect with his receivers real well. And coaches noticed that he tends to hold the ball too long, and you saw it right there. He stayed in the pocket and gets sacked. And you just cannot do that when you've got a drive going to take a 7, 8, 9-yard sack.
I just love what Brad Widger and his defense are doing tonight. I've really seen the Saints step up big when the opposing team, the Terriers in this case, get into the red zone. Each time the Terriers are threatened, Brad Widger and his defense have had surprises for the Terrier offense that has really shut them down. And yeah, it's a little bit of Sampson holding on to the ball a little bit too long and things like that. But you've got Jacob Gill and Brad Widger working with that defense. And Jacob Gill, as our defensive coordinator, along with Widger, is responsible for what we're seeing out here on the defense.
So the Terriers lining up to attempt a field goal here, Eric, just inside their 30, so about a 39-yarder.
He's got a good leg. It's up and just short as that ball was headed for the uprights, but falls a little bit short. Saints will take over on downs on the missed field goal, and this will be their second opportunity of this first half. So Jacob Gill, our defensive coordinator, along with defensive backs and assistant head coach, has got his defense in mid-season form here, at least in this early portion of this second half, as twice they have stood the test and seen what the Terriers can bring them. They've risen to the challenge. And then on the offensive side, Brad Widger, as the offensive coordinator and offensive line, has got the offensive line giving quarterback Eli Reese the time that he needs in order to pull off this 21-0 lead with 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. And here is that offensive line again, unit with quarterback Eli Reese, got Bo Kaysen in motion.
I think Truett Tollett is in the shotgun, or in the Wildcat.
He
here.
is. Tollett now, hands off. Tollett playing a little bit of quarterback tonight in the Wildcat formation. And that'll be a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as Weedman with the ball. And Tollett again in that Wildcat formation. Tollett now going to keep it himself around the left side, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards, maybe a yard and a half there, as it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Tollett carry to the left, tackle by number 14, Javion Carey.
So Truett Tollett on the Wildcat keeper, and he'll pick up a yard.
Eli Reese,
3rd down.
Eli Reese back in at quarterback. 36.
Empty backfield now for Reese as Tollett split out wide to the, well, he was wide to the left, now he's in motion, but now we've got a stoppage of play by the referee.
Moorhaven.
So Moorhaven takes a timeout as the Saints are set up on a 3rd and long with 39.6 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, leading the Terriers of Moorhaven 21-0.
You know, Truett running the Wildcat, as you said there a couple of times, it's nothing new. That's something that the Saints didn't do a whole lot last year with Truett and didn't need to do it last season. But Truett has quarterbacked in the past, and I know this summer and fall camp they've been working on Truett out of the backfield a little bit. So it's a new little wrinkle, but nothing that anybody's uncomfortable with. The line's comfortable with it. Truett's comfortable with it. And obviously the coaches are. They're putting him back there. So, you know, when Eli needs a break, you've got a junior quarterback in Kyle Kaysen, left-handed quarterback as a junior, and then you've got Caleb Anderson as a sophomore. So you've got some guys that back up Eli this season that don't have a whole lot of Friday night experience, and so I think coaches want to use them sparingly if they need to. Plus, they've got a JV game in the morning at 9 o'clock. You really don't want to put them out here tonight and risk injury maybe.
That's very true. And here comes Shiloh, 3rd down and a long 5. Let's call it 6 yards to go. Reese in at quarterback. And now he sends Wiedemann in motion. And now Reese calls a timeout. Reese did not like what he saw on the defensive front of the Terriers, calls a timeout.
Timeout, Shiloh Christian.
An important down for the Saints as they want to connect and keep this drive going as they are deep in their own territory at their own 24-yard line, 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, speaking about the JV game in the morning, Eric, no online broadcast of the game. So,
what?
I'm sorry. Scott's going to Colorado. We can't use him in the morning. So
we're going to lay all the blame on Scott. I'm good with that.
Fans will have to just get text updates from someone that's here at the game, and I think they're playing Superior Collegiate.
You'll probably be at the game.
I'll be at the game. Hopefully not broadcasting much. Hopefully just watching the game.
You got a boy in Caleb that's going to be playing. He's played here tonight. A couple of good punts. It's good to see Caleb out there doing his thing for Shiloh Christian football as they lead here in the 3rd quarter, 21-0 with 39.6 seconds left here in the 3rd. They're facing a 3rd down and 6 here at their own 24-yard line. Reese now puts Cam Wiedemann in motion. Reese waits on the snap, empty backfield. Reese wants to throw, got time. And he gets Logan Rabin out of the backfield, but Rabin's not going to have enough for the first down. He's pushed out of bounds right at the 26, 27-yard line. And he'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Pushed out by a few Terrier
good-looking
defenders.
play, but it was shut down there by the Terrier defense. Just didn't develop like they wanted it to. Pushed out of bounds at 4th and 3, and we're going to get a chance to see Caleb Anderson again on the punt.
Number 12, Caleb Anderson, the punt.
Anderson waits on the snap. It's a good snap. Anderson puts his leg into it. It's a good one. And drives the Terriers back to the 39-yard line. And across the 50 down to the 46, 47-yard line go the Terriers. And number 4, Javon. Our man Javon Jones on the return. And Javon Jones, man, he just kept his legs churning there as he gets across midfield for the Terriers. He set up at the 47-yard line. 1st down and 10 on Shiloh's side of the field come the Terriers. 17 seconds remaining in the 3rd period here. Saints leading 21-0 as Leonard Sampson and the Terriers huddle up.
Again, it is 21-0 Shiloh, as you know, but Moorhaven still has athletes on their team, and so we've got to keep them in check, keep them in front, can't give up anything deep.
Sampson takes the snap and gives to his running back. That is Nate Crawford. Crawford across the right side down to the 45-yard line. Give him a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter, Eric. This game just kind of flying by. Shiloh up 21-0. Pitching a shutout here in their opening season game from Orlando, Florida. We've got one more quarter here, and then the Saints can celebrate here in Celebration.
Been waiting all night to say that, haven't you? Been waiting all night to say that.
Just thought of it.
All right, here we are, the last quarter, the 4th quarter. As Cliff so aptly put it, 12 minutes away from celebrating here in Celebration. What a great night for football, man. It's a little muggy out there, but, man, that's Florida weather.
You know what? It could be worse.
It really could be. It has been worse. We have broadcast in worse. And I'm not talking about worse places. I'm talking about in severe worse conditions. Nothing beats that game we did on the lift in, what was it, Van Buren? Was it Van Buren that we played? You and I were on the lift back behind the stands. It was down south. Maybe the point. Are you sure it wasn't Van Buren? Where we were upset because we thought they had wet down the field. Sampson under some pressure. Sampson now on the quarterback keeper. Sampson's going to be swallowed up as he crosses the 45 down to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Eric, I think the game you're referring to is Alma.
Alma, that's right.
Alma.
Yeah, that's right.
Sampson
That's right.
on the
Alma.
Short game.
But you are correct, and that was a very, very cold and wet night.
If I recall, that's the last regular season game of that season, so it would have been early November.
Yeah, it was a messy night, a very cold night. And just amazingly, with clear and dry skies, it had rained like an hour right before the game. Just crazy how that happened. Here comes Sampson. Sampson with the give. And he's got his running back running well now across the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
On the carrier.
Again, that's number 9, Johnny Crawford, I believe. And these runners, they know how to run north and south. I'll give them that. Shiloh, again, just bending on defense a little bit, and it's about time for there to be a sack. If things go the way they have been tonight, sack in the backfield on Sampson or a penalty. We'll see if this is the drive that Moorhaven can put in the end zone. Low snap, gives it to his running back running to the outside a little bit, and you see just the strong power runner that I believe number 36 or 39, Lorenzo Sampson is.
Lorenzo Sampson on the carry.
So Lorenzo Sampson close to a first down. It'll be 2nd down and a yard to go. As they are at the 20-yard line, and again, we'll see if Jacob Gill's defense, as they have done before, can come up with some mastery of the Terriers here in the red zone to stop them from getting into the end zone. And again, it's a handoff to the running back. He's going to get enough for a first down as he is churning his legs and gets to the 19-yard line, and that is going to be very close to a first down.
Yeah, I think they did get enough, it looked like, on that last little tackle, which threw the runner forward. So they will move the chains as Moorhaven will have it about the 18-yard line of Shiloh.
It is the 18-yard line. The Eagle Eyes of Cliff Anderson have got it right. First down and 10 for the Terriers at the Shiloh 18. Jacob Gill and his defense have always had the number of the Terriers offense called at this point. And again, the give is to Javon Jones. He is pushed out of bounds by Ben Walton.
Completed number 4, Javon Jones.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 2. So again, the defense rising to the occasion. 2nd down and 12 for the Terriers at the 20-yard line of the Saints.
You know, that number 4, Javon Jones, he is a good-looking athlete. Again, senior, 6'2", 180. I mean, he looks like SEC-type receivers. That, speaking of SEC, Arkansas kicking off tomorrow against Portland State. Football's back, man.
Come on.
It's awesome.
I love it. Sampson rolls to his left, under some pressure, throws deep. He's got a man open, but it's incomplete, almost picked off by the defense.
Pass, broken up by
number 24.
Matt McElwain.
Yeah, Matt McElwain almost intercepts the football. Matt McEwen.
McEwen, excuse me. Yeah, and really, he'd like to have that over again. He will make that catch 9 out of 10 times, and there's one time that he's not going to make that catch.
Apologize to the McEwen family. Sometimes we get excited here in the booth and mispronounce some names, as we've got another timeout on the field taken by the Terriers. And it is 3rd down and 12 for Moorhaven at the Shiloh 20-yard line. As that incomplete pass fell just in and out of the hands of defensive player Matt McEwen. And you're right, he'd love to have that play back. That looked like a beautiful opportunity for an interception, but a dynamic play by Matt, no matter what, as he stopped the pass.
Well, the Saints open up their season tonight, obviously. Fly back. We heard team may be flying back tomorrow. Now, I don't know if that's confirmed, but
no,
they may fly back and go ahead and get out of the Orlando area with an approaching hurricane. Saints will be off next Friday, so next week should be a light week of work, and they can concentrate on their schoolwork, and that's good. And then we will be back in action at home September 13th against the Smackover, do you know their mascot?
No, I do not know the Smackover Smacks. I don't. Sampson back, he wants to pass, and it's broken up, incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down and 12 from the 20-yard line. But I bet you know the Smackover mascot.
Pass ball incomplete. It's going to be 4th down
And we're going to give you a chance to tell us what that is after we see what Leonard Sampson and the Terriers are going to do here on 4th down and 12 from the Shiloh 20-yard line. Again, Jacob Gill and his defensive unit have really risen to the occasion. Now the 3rd time that the Terriers have been in the red zone on the Shiloh Saints, and each time so far they have come away with nothing.
Smackover Buckaroos.
The Buckaroos.
So they'll be making the long drive from South Arkansas. They're really just right on the border of Arkansas, Louisiana, excuse me. They'll make the long drive up to Northwest Arkansas, play the Saints.
Big play here, 4th down and 12. Sampson rolling to his left. He wants to throw. He's got a man in the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete. As the Saint defense, once again, led by Jacob Gill, the defensive coordinator, has just risen to the occasion and shut down the Terrier offense.
Yeah, Terriers had a good opportunity to score there and just not able to complete it to their receivers. Again, this Saint defense bending at times, not breaking, still pitching a shutout, 21-0, 9 minutes left here in this game from Celebration, Florida, just south of downtown Orlando.
You know, that was the same play they had run a moment ago where Matt McEwen had the chance for the interception. And again, on defense, Matt rises to the occasion, does a stellar job, and shuts down the Terrier offense. So now Brad Widger and his offensive line and unit have a chance to do some damage here, along with offensive coordinator Adam DePriest. So we'll see what they've got schemed up here as Cam Wiedemann's in motion. Wiedemann gets the ball. It's a double reverse. Truett Tollett with the ball across the 20. Tollett to the 30. Tollett's got room across midfield. Tollett to the 30, to the 20. Nobody's going to catch Truett Tollett. On the score, touchdown Shiloh.
80 yards.
Yards for the score. 80 yards for Truett Tollett on the double reverse that caught the Terrier defense by surprise. And 80 yards later, it's pay dirt for the Saints.
So there's a great block to the outside there that allowed Truett to just get past that initial blocker, and then he just outran the Terrier defense. 80 yards that you called for the Saint touchdown. Puts them up 27-0 with an extra point pending.
Yeah, the big block there by Isaiah Harris that really freed up Truett Tollett for the score. The extra point is good from Keaton Carter. The hold by Eli Reese with 8:55 remaining here in the game. It's the Saints with a 28-0 lead over the Terriers of Moorhaven. So with that touchdown and the 28-0 lead, the Saints have it rolling. Their offense looking good, led by co-offensive coordinators there in Adam DePriest, Brad Widger. They've got things rolling here for the Shiloh Saints offensively. And defensively, Jacob Gill has really got the defense playing well tonight, along with the defensive line and Coach Josh Salisbury. So a lot of coaches here have a lot to do with these young men and raising them in the football tradition of Shiloh. And they are showing out tonight here in Celebration, Florida, just south of Orlando, with a 28-0 lead over the Terriers of Moorhaven with 8:55 remaining in the ball game. As Cliff said a moment ago, we start our regular season tonight with these Terriers, but our second game will be against the Smackover Buckaroos on the 13th as Moorhaven takes the ball on the kickoff across the 35 to the 37, possibly the 38.
Number 12, Isaac Harper.
As Leonard Sampson and the Terriers will be back out on offense as they were just moments ago before the 80-yard double reverse run by Truett Tollett that scored the touchdown for the 28-0 lead for Shiloh.
So a little more breathing room for the Saints here, up 28-0, 8:46 remaining, Eric. And, boy, just that just takes the wind out of Moorhaven, who have had opportunities to put it in the end zone and just self-destruct it a little bit. But, again, you've got to give credit to the St. defense. They have risen up and done a great job when their backs been against the wall tonight.
Here comes Leonard Sampson and the Terriers as he takes the handoff and gives it to his running back, Nate Crawford. Crawford shut down, crosses the 35, gets right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Number 20, Crawford on the
You know,
carry.
we've talked about how much we love
That's
calling
my
the
host,
game
St.
here
Defender.
from
Brings up second down and 10.
Celebration, Florida, just south of Orlando, and we do love calling the game, but I might be persuaded to stop broadcasting if I could watch the game from where my friend Jennifer and Travis Lee are in Cabo San Lucas. Man, I would love to be watching the game from Cabo right now, sitting back on the beach, enjoying a nice Coca-Cola while watching and listening to the Shiloh Saints on the sandy beaches of Cabo San Lucas. Travis, Jennifer, and gang, thanks for watching us all the way down there in Cabo San Lucas as the Terriers and Crawford bust for a big run across the 40, down to the 30. Can they get him? And they're going to stop the Terriers and Nate Crawford at the 12-yard line. What a run by Nate Crawford as he broke across the right side of the defensive line. Now it's time for Jacob Gill and this defensive unit to step up. But there's a flag on the play, and it's holding against the Terriers. And every time the Terriers get a great break in this game, it seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot, just like my broadcast partner Cliff Anderson said. If they could work on their penalties and eliminate those penalties, Moorhaven could be doing much better in this ball game. Unfortunately, they keep shooting themselves in the foot on a beautiful run by Nate Crawford, but the holding call will bring them all the way back. And the ball will sit at the 40-yard line, where it'll be first down and 7 for the Moorhaven Terriers. We'll call it second down and 7, excuse me. Second down and 7. Sampson takes the football, throws into the flat, got his man, boom! It was laid on him. The hit by Hunter Mason. And Mason just crushes Isaac Hernandez.
Actually, I think it's 19. Drew Dudley came up.
Was it Drew Dudley?
Yeah, number 19. Came up and made the tackle there, Eric.
The 8 and the 9 looked so close. I thought it was Hunter Mason. Giving Mason credit for Dudley. And Dudley's tackle there. Way to go, Drew. As he came up from his position and shut the door on Isaac Hernandez. Sampson now, third down and 7. Sampson under pressure. Sampson going to keep it. Gets back to the 40-yard line. He'll pick up a yard, but it'll be fourth down and 6. A long 6. Nope, we'll call it fourth down and 7. Fourth down and 7 as he gets back to the line of scrimmage for the Terriers.
So 6:20 remaining here in this contest. Fourth and long for Moorhaven. Looks like they're going to bring the punter out and set up in punt position here to give the ball back to Shiloh.
Shiloh waiting on their own 32-yard line for the punt. There's the snap. It's a good punt. Tollett waits on it. Tollett's got it. Tollett across the 40, the 50. Tollett on the run. There goes Tollett as he scoots to the right. Tollett across the 30. Big hit. Tollett to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Truett Tollett.
And what a block by number 25, Keaton Carter. Tollett had a defender coming to close down on him, and Keaton Carter just laid a block. And that's what you like to see, to free Tollett into the end zone for another Shiloh Saint touchdown.
Tollett took it at the 32, and 68 yards later on the punt return, it's a touchdown. Shiloh leads with 5:38 remaining in the ball game, 34-0, with the extra point pending.
We're just seeing some great blocking, great job by the the Saints on both sides of the ball right when they need it, just like that in a punt return. You get a critical block at certain spots on the field, and you see this at all levels, college and pros, that just free up a returner to make a big return. And most of the times, as the kick is up, and the kick is no good.
Just misses it wide to the right a little bit. Pretty psyched about that hit he just made to free up Tollett for the touchdown, and unfortunately misses the extra point.
But as I say, and you see a returner run something back, either on a kickoff or a punt return like what we just saw there. And it's never, I don't want to say never, but a lot of times it's not the ability of the returner. It is a block here or there that frees up a lane for the returners to run through and use the abilities that they have and the quickness and moves and all of that. But any good returner will always give credit to a block, and right there, Truett Tollett will definitely give some credit to Keaton Carter as he provided the block to free him up to get it into the end zone. Kick's no good. 34-0 Shiloh, 5:38 remaining here in this game.
So Shiloh really shutting the door here, led 14-0 at the half, have put 20 points on the board since then at 34-0. And really, as we talked about the first half, your comment was Shiloh can't put it in cruise control. They've really got to keep their foot to the gas pedal. I think they heard you, Cliff. And they are doing that as they are putting it on the Terriers of Moorhaven, 34-0. Shiloh looks pretty good, and they've had a few minor things that we've seen they need to work on. Their defensive backs need a little shoring up. It's the first game of the season. You're going to miss some plays and miss some calls. We've certainly done that. Allowed some passes from the strong arm of Leonard Sampson to his wide receivers, Javon Jones. And then Nate Crawford has really done well. He has chewed up some yardage on his powerful legs, but it just seems every time a nice pass from Sampson to over to Javon Jones or Nate Crawford chews up some yardage, there's a penalty behind those great plays that brings the ball back. So really, the Terriers been self-destructive a little bit here tonight. Again, a short kick by Keaton Carter to the 33-yard line. The Terriers stumble and are brought down across the 35 to the 37-yard line. That's where they'll set up shop. First down and 10 at the 37-yard line.
From Moorhaven for their own 37-yard line.
So here comes Jacob Gill's defensive unit for Shiloh, and they have played very well tonight, pitching a shutout. 34-0 here with 5:32 remaining in the ball game, but that hasn't come without some self-destructive plays by the Moorhaven Terriers. Again, the Terriers have had long yardage passes. They have had some long yardage runs, each time being called back by a penalty. But anytime they've gotten into the red zone, the defensive unit of Shiloh has stood tall. Leonard Sampson now waits on the snap. He's got it. He gives it to Nate Crawford. Crawford trying to find a hole up the middle. Dodges off to the left side across the 40 down to the 42-yard line on a nice run.
Nate Crawford on the carry.
Crawford's going to pick up 5 yards on that one. Second down and 5 for the Terriers.
So really just no life out of Moorhaven right now. They've struggled to obviously get the ball in the end zone. They've done okay at times midfield, but just self-destructed. And so I just look here now, looking at the scoreboard, 34-0 is handoff up the middle again. The Saint defense, boy, just doing a good job of knowing where the ball is and wrapping up on the tackling, giving 2 or 3 yards here or there, but not giving anything big on the run game, which is nice to see. But just no life out of Moorhaven as, they were defeated pretty soundly last week, and then here you are again in your own state, just a couple hours from your home, and getting beaten pretty badly as well.
Quarterback Sampson has been replaced by Gabe Rangel. Quarterback, freshman, 6 foot. As Rangel's in there getting some work, as Sampson has found a spot on the bench there. Rangel now, quarterback keeper on the left side. Rangel for the first down. Rangel across midfield down to the 49-yard line.
Number 5, Rangel on the quarterback keep to the left. Tackle by number 22.
So Sampson, the senior at quarterback, 6'4", 185, been replaced by Gabe Rangel. They have him listed as quarterback and athlete. As a freshman, 6 feet tall, no weight listed. young man getting some opportunities here to play quarterback for the Terriers, down 34-0 with 3:45 remaining in the ball game. Rangel's got Crawford in the backfield with him. Rangel takes the snap. It's a 3-step drop. Rangel's heaving it, and it's almost intercepted. Man, that was in and out of the hands of Drew Dudley. And again, Dudley, like Matt McEwen, wishes he had that one back, as he was perfectly positioned for the interception, but just fell in and out of his hands, as that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, Drew Dudley plays center field for the baseball team, pitches also, but mainly a center fielder, and there he was, just kind of playing center field there in the defensive secondary. Had an opportunity. It's a lot easier to make a catch when you've got a glove, baseball glove, that is.
Two hands, what I always learned, even in baseball, two hands, as he almost had the opportunity. Now here comes Crawford. Crawford on a big run right up the middle. Crawford's got a chance across the 20, across the 10, the 5. Touchdown for the Terriers, as Crawford finally broke one free from the left side. No flags on the play, and the Terriers have got points on the board with 3:18 remaining in the ball game, 34-6. As the defensive unit missed on that one and allowed Crawford to put it in the end zone.
Well, there are a lot of second and third teamers out there right now on that drive, Eric, so I don't want to make excuses, but you did have some younger guys in there and just making bad reads on the tackle, but you've got to give the running back credit. Boy, he put it, found a hole, put it in super fast speed, and was able to outrun our defense into the end zone.
He hit that extra gear, and he was gone, as Crawford finds the end zone for the Terriers. 3:18 remaining here in the ballgame. Extra point pending. Looks like they're going for the 2-point conversion, as Gabe Rangel in at quarterback for the Terriers. Rangel waits on the snap. He's got it. Rolls out to his right. Wants to throw. Flag on the play, and it's broken up. Incomplete. We'll have to see what the flag's all about.
Yeah, well, illegal shift on the offense. Shiloh will decline it, so extra point no good.
So 3:18 remaining before the Saints will get the ball back, and it's now 34-6.
With 3:18 left,
I would say that this is still a
Shiloh Christian 34.
No, this is a good spot to be in. You definitely want to, if you're Shiloh, you definitely want to be on 34 versus the 6. So you're disappointed that the defense just gave up a long run for a touchdown, as you had held Moorhaven out of the end zone all night long, done a great job. But again, with a 34-0 lead, that gives coaches opportunities to put guys in at different positions, and that'll pay off later when we get into conference play. So it's good to have a game like this where you can get some reps for some kids who maybe haven't played under the Friday night lights, because you'll need them as the season goes on.
Well, the Atlantic Sharks from Florida put 41 points on this Terrier team last week. Shiloh, with 3:18 left, has a chance to match that score if they can put it in the end zone for a
number 25 Hector
41-6
number 2 Ben Walton
beating of the Terriers. That's an if, as the Saints have their opportunity. They've got their all-hands team in, expecting an onside kick from the Terriers. And the Terriers are ready to kick off, and they kick it into the dead man zone right at about the 30-yard line. Ben Walton waits on it. Ben Walton trying to track it down. Ben Walton doesn't track it down, and he finally lands on it. Truett Tollett lands on it. It had the chance to be a Terriers as Ben Walton was playing with that football, and finally Tollett fell on it to save the possession for the Saints.
No, Ben right there, he needs to come up and get the ball and just land on it. Don't worry about making a return. Just land on the ball. It looked like it was going to bounce out of bounds. He could have let it try to do that, but I'm more of the mindset of you've got to go attack the ball and just get on it. Just stop it.
When that ball hits the ground and you're trying to pick it up with your hands, it can take some pretty funny turns and bounces in there. And Ben was just trying to track that ball down, and unfortunately bending down, sometimes it's taking bounces in your hands instead of picking it up, start slapping it in different directions. Tollett finally laid down on it, and he's got it as Caleb Anderson is now in at quarterback. Anderson hands off, and he is stopped in the backfield. That is number 13, Ben Baker. Baker, just a sophomore running back, 5'6", 144 pounds. And Baker will lose 4 yards.
Yeah, a lot of young guys in there on the offensive line, and under 3 minutes left here in this game. Well in control, but Shiloh they want to move the ball a little bit. Moorhaven still having their starters in on defense, so they're going to be bringing it at this younger offensive unit that Shiloh has out there right now.
Anderson now in there at quarterback, along with Baker by his side at running back. And that's going to be a flag, and they stop the play before it even gets started, as it looked like there was a flag on the play. There is. It's offsides on the Terriers. So that will eliminate the loss of the previous play, and that'll make it 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 10.
So an opportunity here for some of the young guys. Exciting to see my broadcast partner's son and Caleb Anderson out there behind center as the quarterback. He is also the first-string punter for the team, but getting a chance here to play a little bit of quarterback to show what he's got here early in the season, late in the game, because you never know. You're just one injury away from some of these young guys playing, and it's just next man up here at Shiloh.
Well, and I think this is a warm-up for the JV game in the morning.
And that is a good possibility as well, as another flag is thrown.
Delay of game, so that'll back them up.
Penalty
Back 5 yards again, so Coach Conway can't be happy with that. And I don't see any time clocks, play clocks here, so I don't know if the officials are the ones that have to tell them, when there's 10 seconds left or whatever, but you just got to know that as the quarterback and the line, you've got to get up there and be ready to go. And Ben Baker with the handoff, and Ben just runs up the middle. He's outrunning defense.
Ben to the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Nobody's going to get him. Ben Baker on the score. Touchdown Shiloh, as Ben Baker just bust out the longest run of his career, 89 yards for the score. And the Bakers are celebrating at home with the long run by Ben for the score.
What a great run. Again, give it to some blocks downfield for him that allowed Ben just to make a few cuts, use the legs that he has, the speed, and he just outruns the Moorhaven defense. And, Eric, I'll say one thing that I did not like that I saw there in the defensive secondary. Moorhaven, instead of going for the tackle, they went after a couple of our guys just to knock them down, and that's just not right. You need to go after the tackle, make the tackle. Don't try to block somebody and lay them on their back. That luckily no harm, no foul there, but you don't like to see that at all. But good for Ben Baker. What a nice run after a couple penalties there and being backed up on the Shiloh side.
Yeah, it was a beautiful run as Keaton Carter redeems himself and puts it through the uprights. With 1:14 remaining, it is the Saints 41 and the Terriers 6. And, yeah, I agree completely. I saw that, and I knew that you'd probably mention that, as the defensive back was completely beat, and instead of chasing Ben Baker into the end zone, he just turned and laid a block on the first Shiloh Saint he saw. And that's just frustration. It's anger. It's undisciplined ball playing. And I'm sure the coach will take a look at that tape, and he'll have a few words of wisdom for this young man next week. 39 seconds remaining here in the ball game. The Saints lead 41-6. I don't know why the scoreboard shows 42. It's 41-6. And running clock here, and not sure that the Saints are even going to get a chance to kick it off. They might.
Was 41-6 the score that Moorhaven had last week too?
That is correct. The Atlantic Sharks beat the Terriers 41-6 on their home field turf last week. And folks, that is the final score here from Celebration, Florida, just south of Orlando here at Celebration High School. The Saints pull off a 41-6 thumping of the Moorhaven Terriers, and they are champions of this particular non-conference game. There'll be a celebration at midfield as the Saints are awarded for their victory here tonight over the Terriers, 41-6.
So, yeah, the Saints kick off their 31st season of high school football with the win, as you said, 41-6 over Moorhaven Terriers. Eric, we will be off next week, so fans, go support another local high school in Northwest Arkansas, or take your spouse out on a date. Do something fun, because I expect after or starting September 13th, when Shiloh's at home against Smackover, that we're going to have a long run of Friday night football games. Hopefully a long run all the way to Little Rock.
Hey, fans, this is your chance. We want to say from Cliff and I, thanks for watching tonight, but we surely want you guys to come on out and support Saints football this year. This is going to be an exciting year. It's always exciting with Shiloh Christian football, but this year could be a very, very special year for the Shiloh Saints, as Cliff mentioned, as we make a run all the way to the Rock for the state championship. So come on out, support the Saints all year long. There's just about 3 home games. The rest are away. But, you know, Shiloh Saint fans, you travel, and you travel well, as evidenced here in Celebration, Florida, with the big crowd that we had here tonight. It's so exciting to be here with my broadcast partner, Cliff Anderson, starting my 10th year of broadcasting Shiloh football. Cliff's 9th year with me. We're so excited for you, the fans, to be able to watch and listen to Shiloh Christian football on the ShilohChristianFootball.com webcast, or this year on Star 101.5. For Cliff Anderson, I'm Eric Vaughn, and we're saying tonight, thanks for watching, God bless, and good night.
Thank you, parents and fans, for joining us at the 2019 KSA Events Game of the Week. We are so proud of the efforts and teamwork made by both Moorhaven High School and Shiloh Christian Academy as displayed on the field today. We will be presenting the champions plaque as well as MVP medals to the players of the game for defense and offense on both sides. KSA Events, represented by Nikki Lippold, would like to present the awards. First, to Moorhaven High School Defensive MVP. The award goes to number 4, Javon Jones. Next, to Shiloh Christian. Defensive MVP award goes to number 24, Matt McEwen. The Moorhaven High School Offensive MVP award goes to number 20, Nate Crawford. The Shiloh Christian Offensive MVP award goes to number 8, Truett Tollett. And now KSA would like to present the championship plaque to Shiloh Christian Saints and head coach Jeff Conaway. On behalf of KSA Events, we hope you enjoy the rest of your trip to Orlando and safe travels to wherever home may be. Have a good night.